Hello everybody, welcome to another week of the Tarot Oracle reading your general messages for all signs for the week. So let's see what comes out today. Just turn those the other way around. For you. We've got this sort of theme of moving on going on. Moving on to something better, calmer, more satisfying. So let's see if that's still the theme for this week. So overall energy, Knight of Cups. Well, that's definitely a nice energy because Cups is all about emotions and giving generously. Could be somebody coming in this night. He's always the knight in shining armour. So he's the one that wears his heart on his sleeve, and he might be coming in to offer you something of his heart. On the other hand, depending what the surrounding cards are, it can also be an emotional, something emotional such as an apology. It's not always a proposition, but the surrounding cards would indicate, and you knowing your own situation would also help to indicate that. So that's the overall energy. So it's good. Somebody who's wearing their heart on their sleeve for you. I'm going to do 3 cards like I did last time. I think I did 3 last time. And then I have, oh, that's lovely, the Hierophant. So now when you've got this and the Hierophant, because he represents all the religious ceremonies and orders, and he's your kind of moral compass and all of those things. But here that could actually be an offer of proposal, of a marriage proposal. So that's nice. Okay, am I going to do the clarifiers at the same time? No. Right, so the first card we've got is the 5 of Swords. I think we featured that last week as well. So 5 is always a turning point. This is somebody who's gained success, triumph, if you like, over others, over adversity. And it can also be somebody that's put themselves first in a situation, maybe ego-led, maybe pride, but they've won the battle. They've got all the other swords, they've got all the opponent's swords under their arm, and their sword is up. So it's a moment of glory where the ego is slightly is slightly inflamed, if you like. The next card we've got is the Ace of Wands. That's nice. So that follows on well from that one, because this is all about passion, verve, energy, excitement more on a passionate level than adrenaline kind of thing. So new beginnings, because that's an ace. So really you've got this feeling, even with that Knight of Cups, that we're all fired up passionately and ready to go, and the ego is running high, and we're feeling good about ourselves because we've won this sort of battle, and we've put ourselves first, and at all costs we've actually won the fight. And then we have Temperance. Now that's really nice, because where we've got these other 2 cards, which are a bit cards of empowerment, if you like, and that 5, most definitely you've got the ego there. This is really nice because this softens that whole what's going on in the background there. Temperance is lovely. It is the card of Sagittarius, so another fire sign, but it's very gentle. You've got Cups there, which represent emotions, water sign, and the water here, we've got more in the old deck. We've got water flowing from one card to the other, and she kind of sits in water. Here it's more sitting on air, and you've got this sort of magical exchange between cups. So it's a flow. It's about going with the flow. It's about ease, and certainly after that 5 of Swords where the fight is over, and it's almost like languishing in a feeling of just togetherness with yourself, and peacefulness, and just feeling at one with yourself. Now, the Temperance card, where it's like going with the flow and feeling this lovely feeling of just, well, at peace kind of thing, can also be about reconciliations. So let's see what the clarifiers have to say. Now, this used to be my deck that I used. It's a bit worn out. I do like this deck. I used to use this one all the time to actually do the readings, but they're both the same. The pictures are slightly different. I do like this one, I have to say. I started off with this one many years ago. So we've got the Seven of Pentacles, timing. Timing in this standalone card, as in we're looking at what are financial gains, financial investments, be that monetary, be that with buildings, with property, be that with stocks and shares, whatever it is, we're looking, any investment that you've made, that you've put a value on. So it could be friendships, it could be your family, it could be anything that you value. Traditionally speaking, it would be finances. So it's looking at where you've put them and looking at how they've grown and whether it's time to start reaping your harvest, that kind of thing. So that card sits alongside the Knight of Cups. So this could be what the Knight of Cups is coming in to announce with a big heart. It could be that now there's money, there's enough money, that there's stability in the coffers, and the Knight of Cups wants to then take this further with that Hierophant there and make an offer of marriage, because we've got the financial security. So let's do the 3 cards coming down and read the card underneath, the Devil. So these two are actually the cards which are at each extreme. So the Hierophant is the 5, the turning point, if you like, and the Devil is the 15. And this is what I always say of these 2 cards. So we should allow the moral compass to guide us, and if you want, that should be our, in inverted commas, control. And this is our shadow self. This is the one that is the worm in the ear that kind of brings you down, and this is the one we need to control. So this one could also be codependency, it could be all the bad habits that we try to control and try to kick out. So there is an element here of that's sitting alongside. I mean, here it's sitting absolutely alongside that Hierophant. So it's a battle. It's a battle of will and mind. It's also the sign of Capricorn, and the Hierophant is the sign of Taurus. So 2 earth signs, funnily enough. Okay, let's see what's clarifying the 5 of Swords, the 9 of Pentacles. Yeah, so winning this battle is putting us in a really good place. This is called the Garden of Eden, and it gives us independence, it gives us what we need, all that money, look, which came into play here. I think here with that Devil card next to the money card, it's about being positive about what we've accumulated, and looking at the bigger picture. Here we've got the bigger picture. We've got the money, come through a portal, that's from here, that's the changing point. We've come through a portal, we've got the money, but we've also got everything else. It's not all about money. Her back is actually turned on the money and looking at nature. So, and that could be the fight we've got within us here against this money. It's like the fight against materialism, and then what else is important. Do I really want to spend all my money on, I don't know, a new car or a new dress or whatever? And it's that kind of evaluating what really, with the Hierophant, is what we really should be doing, as opposed to what we fancy doing, which might be leading us down the wrong path. Okay, so then we've got here the Ace of Wands clarified by the Eight of Wands. So we're both in the same suit here of cards. So both to do with fire signs, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, and things are happening quickly now. So 8 is the number of courage and strength. We've got a new beginning and things start really propelling forward at a fast rate. This can also be communication start happening, but it's the sense that things start moving rapidly. Temperance here is clarified with, oh, how lovely, the Ten of Cups, which is ultimate happiness. That's really nice. So it's like, if you just enjoy this kind of beginning, this 8, that some things are going to start happening and you go with the flow. The Ten of Cups, which is clarifying this, you've got the 2 cups there, just, you know, one is magically filling the other and go backwards and forwards. And I told you that's a lovely feeling of just everything is feeling that things are happening in the right way, and a feeling of coming together as one. And here we've got the House of Fulfilled Happiness. That's really nice. Really, really lovely. So what I'm just going to do here, I'm just going to turn over this card. We've got the Queen of Pentacles, Earth sign. Underneath this one we have the Two of Wands, which is the fork in the road, which is nice. Queen of Pentacles is very grounded. We've got the Lovers, Gemini, making decisions. So that is, how funny, the Queen of Pentacles has reached a fork in the road. Now, who are we talking about here? Gemini is also about making decisions, or about, wow, and you've got the Queen of Wands. Again, we've got this fire sign going on. So those are your weekly messages, and have a good week, and speak to you next Sunday. Bye.